Hi everyone, it is Gio here, and today I'm very excited to review Potensic Atom 3-axis gimbal 4K drone. Let's see what we got. Well, as you can tell, this is not going to be a box opening video because I already did. In fact, Potensic Atom 3-axis gimbal 4K drone is my very first drone that I own, and I have been using it quite some time. So I'd like to share some of my reviews and my thoughts on this drone and go through the things we get out of the box. So let's do it. Well, first let's start with what package I have. It's the Potensic Atom Fly More combo, which comes with charging case, charger, and 3 batteries, which is really great and handy. And second, we get the RC remote controller. So you have the antennas, so you should be, opening them like that, so the flat surface should be facing the drone direction. And it is extendable, so it's suitable for almost all cell phones, mobile phones, and you can even use it with some tablets. I think it should be something like 10-inch, I guess. And you can store the joystick knobs here. You can easily take them out and screw them here. And that's it. You are ready. And of course, the most important thing comes out of the box is the drone itself. So it's the 3-axis gimbal camera, and you have the strap for protecting the propellers. And I actually like how you open the legs, like more than DJI drones, so you can easily just slide them towards outside. Unlike DJI, like you need to open it, the front legs outside, and the back legs you need to open it that way. I find it more complicated, but this is quite easy. And here is the turning on button, and here you have the optical sensor. So this drone is not like a DJI mini series, which has the obstacle avoidance sensor, so this doesn't have. So you have to be very careful about your surroundings when you're flying, and I wouldn't recommend using it indoors. Like if it's a big warehouse or something like that, sure, it may be fine, but definitely not inside your apartment, your house, because again, it doesn't have the obstacle avoidance sensor, so there's not going to be GPS connection, and it may just go crazy. You may lose the control, and you wouldn't want to hit or break it or even injure yourself. And next we have the parts. We have 2 sets of spare propellers, like in case you crash, you break them, because they are very thin, fragile, so it can happen. And you have the extra screws and screwdriver. And here, one more good thing, you actually get 3 different types of adapter cables, which you use it to connect to your phone and the RC. So here you got the USB-C, Lightning, and regular USB connector, like for Android devices. And you have the charging cable for the RC. And how do you charge it? You actually connect it to out socket of the charger. Like while you are charging your batteries, you can also charge your RC controller. And of course you have the adapter for the charger. And of course we have the case, we have the carrying bag. The quality is really nice and it is quite useful. And here, like inside, you have a pocket here with zipper, and you get different compartments where you can store the things separately without having any damage on them. You can put you got the strap for proper protection when you are storing your drone, and of course the gimbal protector. Let's just go through the application as well, which you can download it with scanning this QR code behind the box. And the application itself is really easy. It's perfectly fine, and you don't get lost when you are using it. You don't get lost. And as you can see here, there are LED indications. When you press this button here, it will show you the battery level for each battery. So these two are full, and the one we just use, you see it just 3/4 full. And if we talk about the battery life, it promotes as 32 minutes each battery, but it doesn't go 32 minutes ever. My maximum that I reach with one battery is 24 minutes. And again, that will depend on the weather condition. If it is really windy out there, it's gonna consume more battery. So you won't even make 24-25 minutes. It will be something about 15 to 20 maximum. And again, the charging is quite easy and fast. Unlike DJI charging, it's parallel charging. It's not serial charging. So it's not like charging the first one and then going the second one and then going to the third one. No, same time you will be charging 3 batteries. And of course the remote too. And the flight performance of the drone is quite nice. Stability is great. The gimbal does amazing job. It's actually 3-axis gimbal. It's not like the previous model of Potensic Atom SE, which is not 3-axis gimbal. It uses electronic image stabilization, which is not as great as the actual 3-axis gimbal. Stability of your footage will be amazing, and I've flown this drone in really windy conditions, like open in the sea or in a mountain. It is great, like it does great job. And of course, if it is too windy that it cannot handle, it will give you warning on your remote. It will say strong wind warning, so it will ask you to lower your altitude or return home. Although it is 250 grams, like it's quite light and small, you may think, oh boy, it's gonna just fly away and you're gonna lose it. But no, it does magic. It does really great job. So you can trust on this little guy. Last but not least, maybe I should have mentioned this in the beginning of the video, but now I just remember, since it is less than 250 grams, you don't have to register or have pilot license, drone pilot license, depending on your purpose. If you wanna just use this drone for your hobby, it's like recreational purposes, yep, you don't have to have drone pilot license and register it. Okay, let's talk about my overall experience with Potensic Atom drone, 3-axis gimbal model. It's a great beginner friendly drone. If you are a person who has never owned a drone and it will be your first time flying drones, I cannot recommend enough to start with this one, because it's very easy to use. It's not complicated at all, very user friendly, from application on your phone and the controls and the drone itself. I see some videos comparison of Potensic Atom to DJI Mini 4 Pro. It's just nonsense. You should not compare this to Mini 4 Pro. They are not at the same level, of course. Mini 4 Pro is way more advanced compared to this. So which one I can tell to compare would be the Mini 2 series. DJI Mini 2 is not actually 4K, the video resolution. It is 2.7K. Like, you will see some of my footage, raw footage, and I will also put some edited footage as well. It's actually great. If you are not, professional videographer, content creator, you just wanna do it, like how I do, for fun, like as a hobby, this is more than enough. It is great. Alright folks, we are outside. Now we can do the performance test for our Potensic Atom 3-axis gimbal 4K drone. Let's do it. First, let's insert our battery and we make sure we hear this sound. Click. And we open the arms and we press the power button once and twice, and we hear this nice sound. So we open our antennas and we remove the sticks. We just screw them easily, and once, twice, we hear that nice sound again, and our RC is on too. We get our adapter cable, we plug it to our phone. So the 90 degrees is gonna be looking downwards, and we're gonna place it here and extend it, and as you can see, it fits perfectly. And this end, we're gonna plug it to our RC. All right. And screen recording is on as well. You will be able to see what I'm doing on RC here in the camera, and also the footage of the drone. Now you see on the screen all three are paired: our mobile phone, RC, and the drone. All three paired and connected. So we're just gonna go ahead and hit enter device. It's quite sunny at the moment. I'm not able to see my screen. It turns out it's not the phone's fault, it's my sunglasses. So it's polarized and I can't see the screen. So even though it's sunny, I'm not gonna wear my sunglasses. So let's go ahead and start our drone. We have two ways of doing that. We can just bring the joysticks down and propeller is gonna start running, but it's gonna stop if we don't push up stick. Or we can take off with just one button here and swipe right, and it's gonna take off. And as suggestion, always place your drone facing opposite direction, so it shouldn't be facing you in case it gets crazy, so you don't hit yourself. And plus, the control would be easy. It won't be the opposite controls. And since we are in the air, before we start flying any further, always check your controls. Let's just give it a test. Let's see. Yep, it's rotating right and left, down, up, fine. It goes forward, backward, right, and left. Quickly, I'm just gonna go through the settings. Let's see what we have, and we can actually just have some altitude and see the view while we are going through the settings. So at the right top corner we see the three dots. That's our settings page. The first thing will come from is the safety, and we have the beginner mode. As you can see, it's off, but if it is your first time flying a drone, you are not experienced, I always recommend putting that on. It's gonna set some parameters and limits, which is, for your safety, for the safety of the drone, and also the other people and your surroundings. But again, if you are experienced, you know how to control your drone, you can skip that. And down here we have the unit, metric, imperial, and we have 3 speed settings. First one, video. Second one is normal, and third one is sport. So in video mode, you're gonna have the smoothest and most steady footage. Drone will fly and move very slow, so you can get the best steady and stable footage. In normal mode, you will still get, you know, really great stable footage, but drone is gonna move slightly faster than video mode. And of course, in sport mode, drone is gonna move really fast, so your footage may end up shaky. Although it's 3-axis gimbal and it does really magic work, still you may not end up having the best video. For us, let's just keep it in the video mode. Let's go slow. And just down here we have the signal loss options. It asks us what to do when we lose the signal. The first option is return. So when we lose the signal between RC and the drone is going to return to the home point where you took off. Second option is landing. Drone is gonna land wherever it is. This may depend on where you are and the situation. You may wanna, like, once you lose the signal, you may not wanna let drone land wherever it is. It may be open in the sea, or it may not be suitable place for drone to land. It may crash. And last option, we have the hovering. So when you lose signal, drone is just gonna keep as it is in the air, just hovering. I actually prefer return. I mean, there is downside of return too. Let's say you are yourself mobile too, you are moving and you lose signal and you are not at the home point, you are not where you started, but drone is gonna go back there and you won't be there. So keep that in mind. And just underneath we have the minimum return altitude. It's between 10 meters and 120 meters. You have to adjust this according to your surroundings. You just need to be very careful if you have tall trees, high-rise buildings, or any other obstacles. Remember, this drone doesn't have obstacle avoidance sensor, so it's all in your hands. And just underneath we have silent return. I keep it off. Like once the signal is lost and the drone is returning to the home point, your controller, your RC, will keep beeping. You may find it annoying and disturbing, so that's why I keep it off. And down here we have virtual fence. We can set altitude limit, which I set for 120 meters. That's the local laws and regulation for the city I live in. I won't be going beyond that. And underneath we have the distance limit. Here you can set it between 20 meters to 4,000 meters, or you can also choose no limit option. You can go as further as possible, unless you lose the signal. And down here we have flight safety tips. I like to keep it on. It doesn't affect your actual footage. It just gives you flight safety tips on the display of your phone, right under. It's really small letters. It doesn't take much of space, so it doesn't really bother you. And here we have the battery information. At the moment it is 77%, temperature 35, and we see other details such as cycle count. And after safety settings, we have the calibration, we have the compass calibration, gimbal calibration, gimbal fine-tuning, remote controller calibration. And also at the bottom we have the repair the drone. That means just in case your RC doesn't want to connect to the drone, you go through this setting. Compass calibration, you may want to do that each time you are in a new location before you start flying. It will be really helpful. And gimbal calibration, now we are in flight, so that's why we cannot access. The drone should not be airborne to do the calibration. For gimbal calibration, I would say try to do it at home, like, you know, or if you have chance, if you have a flat surface, you know, steady, stable flat surface, because you need to place your drone upside down, leave it on a flat surface so it adjusts the gimbal to the best it can. And down here we have the control. The first option, control stick mode. Here we have two, model number 1 and model number 2. I use model number 1, and that means model number 1, the stick on the left controls up and down and turn left and right, and the stick on the right controls forward, backwards, right and left. If you choose the model number 2, it's gonna be the opposite. This you may decide depending on if you are right-handed or left-handed, like however you are comfortable to control your drone. And under control stick mode we have the gimbal settings. Maximum pitch speed, keep it at 5. Anything greater than that, the gimbal would move so fast and the footage will be quite jerky. So 5 is not so slow and not so fast. That's quite good. And current pitch angle, you can easily bring it down to 90 degree or 0 degree. And gimbal mode, we have the stable mode, which means it keeps the object stable, or FPV mode. That means the gimbal move with the movement of drone. If you go right, you know, it's gonna go right. And next we have the camera setting. We have the white balance, and underneath we have grid. These are the reference points that you on your screen. I keep all three .x and the pound symbol grills. It really helps you to center or level the object you are recording. And down, remaining total capacity shows the capacity of your micro SD card, and underneath we have the SD card settings. You can always format your card here. And down here we have enabled telemetry data, add GPS coordinates to photos metadata. I keep them off because these are the you know, those small details showing like your altitude and your coordinates. It will actually be captured in the real footage. Like, unless, you know, I don't know, if you're not doing any scientific research in that, you know, location or some other reasons, I don't think you would ever wanna use those. And last we have the about. So here we see the device model, firmware version and app version. So always you can come here and check the updates if there's any updates available. First we can start with signal range test. I'm facing this direction, so this direction is the open sea. Let's see, like, there are no you know, high-rise buildings which may block the signal between RC and the drone. So let's try this direction first. Let's see how much further we can go. And as you see at the bottom left, we will have our height, altitude and distance, and also our vertical and horizontal speed. So we passed 100 meters in distance and we are at 100 meters altitude. And I'm just gonna keep it 110, a little below than the limit. So I'm not using the left joystick at the moment. I'm just, you know, pressing the right one forward because we are just going on a straight line, just to see the distance, how much further we're gonna get. Our horizontal speed is 6 meters per second, and we are close to 400 meters in distance. And as you see, always make sure your antennas, the flat surface of your antennas, facing the drone directly this way. You can see it on my phone screen. We are in a video mode, and we are connected to 25 satellites, which is really great. And right next to 25, it says RC and the signal bars. That shows the connection strength between RC and the drone. At the moment, it is just 2 bars. Not bad. The video transmission is still okay. It's still smooth. There's no lagging yet. And we are 700 meters distance and 49% battery level. Potensic says the signal range is 6 kilometers, but I have never been able to reach that limit. This will also vary your surroundings. If you're in a city center with lots of high-rise buildings, Wi-Fi's, those kind of things, you're not gonna get the best of it. But just like how we are doing right now, flying through the open area with no obstacles blocking the signal, you will do the best with your drone. All right, now we just passed 1,000 meters, so we reach 1 kilometer, and still no lagging. Okay, now we get the warning. The video transmission is weak because I see that the signal strength is now just 1 bar.
Returning.
Okay, so now we lost signal at 1,100 meters, 1,100 meters distance. So this is the sound it's gonna make, the silent return, if you keep it on. Since we have the return option selected, once we lost the signal, the drone is automatically coming back to us. And our battery level is at 42. I'm just not gonna touch anything. Let's see how accurate it's gonna come find us and land at the home point. Our drone is back. It's just above us, and now it is initiating the landing process. So it's at 90 meters altitude and coming down. Let me just bring the gimbal down to 90 degrees so we can see the landing point as well. Yep, there we are. I can see me and our blue landing pad. So let's see how accurate landing will be. And you can always stop. Like if it is not gonna land where you want, you can always stop by hitting the X. Not so bad, I would say. It's at the maybe like a meter distance. So I'm just gonna move it further and bring it back to the landing pad. Yep, we landed successfully. You can always stop the return home process anytime you want and do a manual landing just like I did. So you can just see how close it's coming to the landing pad or your landing surface, then you can do your own adjustment. Before we take off, let me just go through the camera settings as well. You will be able to see on the screen. So here on the top right we have the camera symbol. It says A, which means it's in auto mode. Once you click on that, it's gonna go to M, which means manual. You will have to adjust the camera settings manually yourself. So here we can always choose the resolution, video resolution. It supports 4K, 24, 25 and 30 FPS. It also supports 2.7K, same 24, 25 and 30 FPS. And lower than that, we have 1080p resolution, and it supports 24 FPS, 25, 30, 50 and 60 FPS. And right next to it, when we click that camera setting, we have the white balance that we can manually adjust it, and we can control our shutter speed, we can control our ISO and EV exposure value. So let's take off and test our signal range, this time towards city where we have the high-rise buildings and lots of obstacles. So let's take off this time with pushing the joysticks downwards and pressing the left one up and taking off. So we go same height, 110 meters, and we're just gonna center it, and then we'll just keep flying forward. We are at 40 something meters altitude. We reach just 50 now. Just gonna turn left. I wanna go right above the main street here. So we will have the high-rise buildings on our right and left side. So we will be just in between. So let's just center it, and we can also have some nice footage while we are testing it. Okay, so let's keep going high. We are at 70, reaching 80 meters, and I'm flying forward. All right, we are coming close to 110. I'm just gonna stop right here. So yeah, there you go, 110, and I'm just pushing the right stick forward. That's all I'm doing. And we just reached 350 meters in distance. Let's bring the gimbal a bit down so we have the view of the street and also the city. Okay, I can see the lagging in the video transmission. We are just almost reaching 500 meters in distance, and yeah, I guess we lost it. Yeah, I don't have the video transmission. We lost it at 500, almost 550 meters in distance.
The flight height limit has been reached.
And here we just had the warning of saying flight height limit has been reached, because we set the return home limit to 120 meters, remember? So when it is returning, it's gonna go to that limit and keep flying back. And to turn off this beeping sound, if I remember correctly, you just need to press once to the power button and it shots of the sun. So it's gonna go to the silent mode. It's still returning, but silently. The drone is right above us. It's at 100 meters altitude and now coming down. Let's see this time how accurate landing will be. And as you can see behind the camera, I have my beautiful wife giving me directions where to stand. She's my camera person. Okay, this time it looks closer than the previous landing. I'm gonna stop it right there. You see it just like maybe 5-10 centimeters further than the landing pad. So I'm just gonna rotate it, bring it a bit left, and land it myself. Up. And there it is. It's that easy and simple. Let's start our quick shots and let's test them. Well, this time let's finish it with showing you the differences between speed modes, video, normal, and sport mode. I guess this is the only thing we left out to review. Okay, our battery is 100% and we are connected to 12 satellites, which is enough for takeoff. It's permitted. Now it's raising to 16. So let's go ahead and take off. Alright folks, I guess we cover almost every feature and we're just gonna go back indoor. It's really sunny and it's hot. I guess that's it with the review of Potensic Atom 3-axis gimbal 4K drone. You can ask if you have any questions in the comment section, and I will try to answer to my best knowledge and experience. And overall, I highly recommend this drone. If you are new, if you are just starting, this will be the great option. You will not regret. Even if you have drone and you consider buying second one, still I would recommend this one. For the price you get, the things, and also the outcome product, which is your footage, your video, it will be amazing. You can go to my channel and watch the other videos I have. Most of them are captured with this one, with Potensic Atom. Of course, some of them are raw footage, some of them are edited footage, but you will see what I'm talking about. That the footage is just amazing. So you be the judge, watch my other videos, and please let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you on my other videos. Thank you. Stay safe, fly safe.